Hey everyone, welcome to an episode of Breaking Things, where we use music making tools in the way they were not intended to be used to show that everything on this channel is just a guideline and you can break all the rules. Today what I want to do is I want to break two things at the same time. First of all, I want to get into my Prophet synthesizer right here. What it has is a weird effect in it called ring modulation. And I'm going to play that ring modulation out long so that I can sample a part of it. And that's it. That's all I'm going to use that synth for. So that beautiful synth that can do lush chords, great polyphony, super complicated stuff. Well, I'm only going to be using it to snip out a little bit of ring modulation texture from the middle of it. Then I'm going to put that into a sampler, and then I'm going to trigger that sampler using Reason's bassline generator. And Reason's bassline generator creates all these like bloop, 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 great little melodies, right? But those little melodies are not very techno. So what I'm going to do is on the sampler, I'm going to turn off key tracking. So what that means is that we're not going to get the pitch information from the MIDI notes. We're only going to get the velocity and the rhythm. And then that way the bassline generator is basically just a rhythm generator with some velocities thrown in. I don't know if the end result is going to be of any use at all, but join me now as I try to break the Prophet and the bassline generator. So step one, I need to dial in a patch on the Prophet that has heavy ring modulation. Okay, so I'm just recording the output of this, and I'm going to now start building a patch from the initialize patch. Okay, so the idea here is going to be to find just a sound that when I hit a long sustained note, it sounds like a kind of grimy and has a lot of movement inside of it. I just am looking for a kind of a distorted, unstable tone. I'm going to probably stack as many voices as possible, like 16 voices on this thing, to create some movement in the timbre and maybe some LFOs. Let's find out. That's what you get when you put heavy unison on 16 voices, okay? Okay, let's put on the ring mod. Oh, that sounds so evil. Nice. So that worked pretty well. Let me hop over into the DAW and see what we can do with the bassline generator. Okay, so here we are in the DAW, and I mean, the recording sounds pretty crispy. Awesome. Definitely usable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a MIDI track, and I'm going to put this thing into a simpler device, just a very simple sample player. And I'm going to move the starting point to somewhere randomly. There we go. See what happens when I trigger it? Cool. Now I'm going to feed Reason's bassline generator into this. So let me call this the evil sound. And let me put in the Reason Rack plugin there. So many of you have already seen me do this, but what you want to do when you open up Reason is ignore basically everything that you see in the interface, and instead go to players and go to bassline generator there. This brings out the magic bassline generator, and it's sending MIDI immediately out. It is not playing any sounds. So what we're going to need to do is take evil sound and do MIDI Reason Rack in. This is the secret, right? So now, look at this. So we've got this. So we've got a pattern. Let's do a really busy one. This is like something you'd hear in like the Doom soundtrack, but then way more sophisticated, obviously. And so what we're going to do here, instead of having the actual note data feed in, what we're going to do is we're going to find the setting that stops it from listening to the note data. So I'm going to find that now. So what I'm really looking for is a control that is similar to this key here and this key here, which is how much does the key influence, or how much does the pitch coming in influence the playback of the sound. And I'm not finding it, so what I'll do instead is I'll do simpler to sampler. I'm pretty sure that has it here. And so the trick in sampler is here, this scale function, instead of 100, set it to 0. See? Now we're just getting that. So now what I'm looking for is I'm looking to shape the sound in a way that doesn't sound so gated. It doesn't sound like it's playing at full volume and then cuts off abruptly. So I want this velocity here, the velocity variations, to make a big difference. And so what I'll probably do is I'll go here to the global section and set the velocity quite high here. This one, set it to like 60. Maybe set this one to 60. Maybe set the release a little bit longer. Set it to a single voice. Cool. Let's play with the filter as well. Cool. Now let's play around. Okay, not bad. And there's a limit to how good this is going to sound in itself. So let me find a draft rumble that I made a few days ago. That's pretty cool, very expressive. Bit too rough. Not a lot of space for it. This could certainly be a track. I liked it the most here though. Tight. Okay, so this is super rough. This is obviously not a track yet, but it certainly is going in a direction that's nice. And so when we mess around with the Reason plugin, let's just find different beats. Cool. Imagine I would put an LFO onto this. Imagine that. Imagine putting an LFO onto these two velocity knobs. So we would put one LFO here, map it there, make it slowly change once every 10 seconds or so. Super fine. Depth 100, yeah, why not? And then another LFO, map it to the second one. Or I'll do it like once every, maybe 33, like once every 3 seconds. Also full depth. And let's see what this feels like. Pretty cool. Let's go find some different sounds. Ooh. That's quite nice. Look at how these things are swelling and subsiding over slowly over several seconds. Looks like pupils going open and closed. Kind of crazy. Yeah, pretty nice, pretty nice. I'll put a really big reverb on there. Like ridiculously long. And a little bit of LFO tool to make it pump. Just subtle. And here we go. Not bad. Let's find some other sections. Ah, cool method. Those LFOs would take some tweaking to get right. Cool method, cool method. This definitely was a success in my book. I'm definitely going to be using this in tracks. If you like dirty, hypnotic techno like this, do check out Torque on SoundCloud, Spotify, and Bandcamp. Let me know in the comments if there's any other music tool that I should break. And until next time, stay producing, be good to one another, and take care. Bye-bye.